and we can start. So I'm very pleased to welcome Stephen Khanna, who I'm following on LinkedIn for quite now. And what I love about him is that he combines like two passions, basically about the sales, where we are so uncomfortable with that, and then he is bringing his sales a background, combining with the SEO. I know like he was running Michelin-star restaurants before, so basically with the experience with 5-6 years. Now you are international SEO trainer, helping SEO agency owners to scale, to sell, and improve different sales processes, from the lead generation optimization with improving sales conversions, after sales, leadership, and management. So Stephen, so happy to have you here, to have a talk with you, and to get the value in the next 20-30 minutes that we are going to share, and basically about your process and your value that you can bring to the SEO agency owners.
Yeah, lovely to meet. Lovely to see you again, Adriana. Thanks for having me. Yeah,
Yeah.
looking forward to it. I love the background. I don't know if that's your private golf course, but it looks spectacular.
I'm planning to have that. It's just like Montenegro seaside, so I'm enjoying seaside after some skiing. So yeah,
I've
that's
never I've never been to Montenegro, but now that you mentioned it, yeah, that's probably I'll do that this year then, surely.
nice, 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 nice. So what I want to achieve here in the next 20 to 30 minutes is basically I know that like sales is a like comprehensive topic, and like what I don't want to hear like to pick all the tips and things. I really want to go into one. I think what is the crucial part of the sales process, that is discovery call itself. And I know that you are covering and helping other SEO agency owners from the lead generation, discovery calls, sales scripts, like improving the efficiency of the sales teams. But I really think, and what I'm seeing on my side, is SEO agency owners are first having the lack of lack of sales skills, because they have very good technical SEO skills.
Yeah.
It's a kind of even like mindset thing. We are uncomfortable with the sales because there is a huge mindset background, like why we are not so good at like promoting and selling. But what you are seeing that like SEO agency owners, in which moment like they are having the gaps in the sales, but like they are not even recognizing that like they are having this gap. What you are seeing like in the market?
Uh, Most of the clients I cater to, they've had two or three very specific problems when it comes to discovery call optimization, which means increase the close rate. So within the SEO world, if you're not founder led, normally it's about 20-25% is the industry standard for a close rate within SEO. The idea is to how to get to 30, 35, 40%, 40% being absolutely legendary, is because there's no lead nurturing in place, so they really don't know who they really want to sell. They kind of one size fits all approach, and then people jump on calls which are, forget about top of the funnel, they're not even in the funnel. Right? People are just show up on calls not really wanting to know what they want out of this call, combined with people who are not trained for sales. They just pitch from minute 2, minute 3. So what's important is to kind of go 5 steps backwards, go back on the drawing board. First, understand, look at your testimonials, look at your skill set, look at your delivery team. Right, can I deliver fantastic results to ecom, or can I do fantastic results to iGaming? Right, niche down uh, to a manner where it's easily scalable. So if I was running an agency right now doing, I don't know, 50 grand MRR, how do I get 250 by the end of 2026? Right. And if I was just basically selling to everyone, I was like, fuck it, it's not going to work. So I'm going to pick up the most easily convertible niche. Is I've got some experience with it, testimonials and all of that. So I'll develop my funnels, lead nurturing process, but I won't go too deep into that. I'll stick to the discovery calls framework you're talking about. So when you go into it, I normally train others having a 7-pillar framework or approach to a discovery call. And I'll give you an overview. So, introduction and rapport building, agenda setting and framework, asking a lot of questions, which are discovery questions, right? Then doing your Ahrefs mini audit live on call one. Not I'm going to fucking send you something on a spreadsheet. So you kind of dangling the carrot there by adding enough value for them to pull the trigger to pay the invoice. Then you transition into temp check. You stop sharing your screen, ask them what they feel about it. Then presentation of the packages as your service being the bridge to your pain points. Then you do the objection handling. Then you try and do a one call close. If the one call close doesn't work, you make sure you're doing a BAM-FAM, which is book a meeting from a meeting, and that needs to be done within the next 48 to 72 hours. If you leave it too late, they're going to disappear. So you kind of do between one call, two call. But I mean, I can sit here for hours, talk about discovery call scripts and framework, the psychology, how you push people in a corner, how you sometimes use their own words against them, driving the knife in deeper to enhance the pain, cost of inaction. It's like there 20,000 modules there. But I hope I've made sense by giving an overview of how discovery call frameworks should be set up.
Yeah. And I'm so happy that you mentioned like niching down, because what I see, like even like SEO freelancers agencies, like they are so struggling to niche down because they are so afraid, oh, I will miss them like all other clients. Correct. And even when it comes to that positioning, you know, like what you are seeing, like from the niche perspective, how is different when you are negotiation with a, for example, e-commerce client versus SaaS client, and also I saw that even you are having the casino clients. You know, how the niching down is different on the discovery call itself.
Yeah. So generally the framework remains the same, because let's be honest. Simple things, but a lot of people don't do the simple things in a simple manner. End of the day, SEO is only a marketing channel, right? So as long as you hover around lead generation, include improving their own revenue targets, their own conversion rates, organic leads, which are pretty much bottom of the funnel, high intent buying, you need to use that. Whether you're speaking then to an SEO manager or a CMO or to a founder, generally it remains the same. How it differs is maybe your line of questioning and your services or the wording you're going to use on the discovery call will be a little bit different. That's what's called identifying buyer personas, right? Now, the CMO, we know exactly what's the job description of a CMO. That language, they're going to switch off very quickly. Whereas when you talk to founders and owners, they only care about revenue. What's my ROI on it? I don't give a brand sass whether it takes you 5 content pillars or 20 keywords, low hanging fruit, editorial links. They just want to know, how soon can I start seeing success? What does success look like? Right? And then how can I start converting? Whereas for a CMO would be, how quickly can you rank me page 1? Right? How many keywords can I show growth and a green uptick on Ahrefs or SEMrush, so they can put it in colorful presentations and show it to their bosses. So reading profiles, buyer profiles, and understanding is extremely important. And that's how you tweak your discovery call framework accordingly. But the 7 pillars, they remain exactly the same. Just the discovery questions will probably change a little bit, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because basically that is how we are giving the value regarding the buyer persona, like who I'm talking about, because in that way they are understanding. Because if we are talking with a co-founder and they are maybe more technical, you know, like we will talk with them in technical way, but if we have like no technical person, we need to align our language to be understandable, because if we are not understandable, they not see the value. And
Correct.
we all know like the value is in selling. What you are seeing like on the markets, like the agency owner that from their skill point, like where they are most struggling and how you are helping to overcome their struggle to be more like confident
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
scaling, because we know like there is no scaling without sales.
Correct. So they're very scared to delegate and kind of get one or two closers in the team. They feel, oh, if I give it to someone else, they're going to screw it up, which I can understand on one aspect, because scaling up could mean you go really well, you got a lukewarm response, or it goes the other way. But then there's only one way of scaling. You will have to delegate it, right?
Yeah.
Or you remove yourself from the other aspects, like running five other departments, and you just focus on sales, right? The easiest way, if a founder does not want to let go of discovery calls, but they still want lead nurturing and they just don't have time for it, I said, mate, just hire an appointment setter then. So the appointment setter then makes sure every calendar booking that's triaged, asking lots of qualifying questions. So you don't get a tire kicker coming in looking for free knowledge, or they probably want to do something 6 months down the line, like, fuck off, mate, I don't have time for that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or people who've downloaded resources either from their LinkedIn channel or their paid ads channel, or general whatever, they've got different landing pages where someone's clicked, downloaded a newsletter or an ROI calculator, or how do I double my ebook. And a lot of founders will never have time, let alone the skill set, to pick up the phone and actually just have a chat to that lead, to that lead.
Mm-hmm.
But also speed to lead is a very important thing. So generally what needs to happen, if it's within working times, depending on which geolocation you're targeting, you should have people there who should be on the phone within the next 5 to 10 minutes. When the Zapier integration from Slack comes in, the leads filled up like a qualifying form. You pick up the phone, and if Adriana, if I don't know, if I was working for, I don't know, let me take a random name, I don't know, James Dooley's agency, Searcheroo, and you filled up a form asking, not asking for more information, you downloaded rank and rent, don't know, model playbook, right? So Adriana, Stephen from the SEO growth, another thing, the moment you sound salesy in the first 7 seconds, that's it, you're cooked. So normally how I do it, the appointment set is not an SDR, or I simply retitle them as SEO growth specialist. And the full cycle SDR or a closer would be SEO growth manager. Little triggers, it works. So it'll be Adriana Stephen, the SEO growth specialist at Searcheroo. You got 2 minutes. It's about the resource you've just downloaded 10 minutes ago. Does that ring a bell? Oh yeah, just I did that. Brilliant. Have you had access to it? Were you able to log in? Yeah, I've just downloaded 10 minutes ago. So I'll probably do that over the weekend. You should, because there's a lot of valuable info in there. So probably over a cup of coffee or a cup of tea or whatever your poison is over the
Yeah.
weekend, you should read that. But just out of curiosity, what was the reason? What are you trying to achieve by downloading that? Now that's bloody hell. We're wanting them to open up. And that's when they start complaining. I've had this, I've had
Hmm.
that, I've had this. This is where active listening comes in within the appointment setting framework. Then you ask more deep questions. My business has been struggling. Leads haven't been coming in, and I want to change that quite quickly. Okay, when you say leads have been decreasing, how many leads are coming in every week? X, Y, and Z. How are you generating those leads? Paid ads. Okay, so how long has this been so bad? 6 months. How was it at its peak? X number, right? What have you tried doing in the meanwhile to try and reverse the trend? They'll give you an answer. Have you ever looked at SEO? Why are you looking at SEO now? What does SEO success look for you? If you don't change, what does that mean to the business in the next month to 3 months? So you're basically driving the knife in deeper. And then when you've generated enough pain, and then say, listen, that resource would definitely help you, but it's not the magic bullet. So, would you be open to the idea of having a free strategy session with the James Dooley himself? I actually see a gap in the calendar tomorrow at 2 p.m. or day after at 11 a.m. He can just exhaustively audit the website, position you where you are, where you should be, and where your competitors are. Are you open to that idea? Oh, yeah, yeah. But generally, 8 out of 10 would say, yeah, let's do it. You send the invite. And then you say, is there anyone else in the decision making process you want to get on the call? You send the link there. And then you ask the two most important questions once they've accepted the link on the call is, listen, if all of this makes sense and you are looking to up the leads, I don't know what your cash flow or budget allows. What sort of budget have you set aside for the SEO success in the next 3 to 6 months? So you're budget qualifying. If they say $800, right? I say, well, $800 might be a drop in the ocean. Would you be open if we show you the ROI to $1,500? So you're positioning your entry level package. Yeah, if the ROI is there, I'll probably go for it. If not, you ask, why not? Can't you take more money out of the paid ads channel? Because clearly your ROAS on that is not getting you that. You were 3.8 ROAS, now you're 1.9. So why do you want to keep investing in that channel when it's not giving you success, right? That's kind of objection handling. And then the last question, if everything makes sense, how quickly are you looking to move ahead to improve that business? And then you basically, in your Slack channels, you create an extra channel called Set of Notes. You feed in all that information from your Fathom, you take it from transcript, add your notes to it, feed it back to your owner. He's got knows exactly what's going on. Sometimes you can even ask, which keywords are you looking to rank for? Who is your closest competitor? That also helps. So then the founder goes in completely prepared, knowing it's going to be a 1 call or a 2 call close.
Yeah, that is the thing, because SEOs are afraid, like, oh, I don't want to, like, sound so salesy. But when you are thinking, I'm not going to sell anything, I'm just like, with the questions that you asked, basically you are asking first about their pain points, and then they are coming to the final result that they want. Of course, that like all of this new customers, new sales, revenue increase, like blah, blah, blah things. And that is a crucial moment that you mentioned, like asking a question so they can come up on the solution as the SEO, not like, hey, the SEO is the most important channel for this. No, asking a questions about the current channel, then they are coming to their own answer, because that is a thing in the sales process. They will not believe you, but when they made like, oh, good answer, where they are thinking, oh, this is really what I need about SEO. It's not that Stephen said like, oh, you need the SEO. Then they are thinking, oh, like, I'm smart, I'm really believing in this, that I need to do. And like, you didn't sound salesy because you are just asking.
I wasn't pitching. I just asked questions, and you hit the nail on the head. By asking these questions, they kind of have that in the back of their mind. So you kindly, like, politely nudging them towards so they talk themselves into that discovery call, and the same logic then applies on the discovery call, and they talk themselves in the close. I'll give your viewers one really, really good nugget. So the 7 pillars I was talking about, the discovery call, when we stop doing the Ahrefs screen share and we do a temp check, I normally run it this way. So Adriana, let's assume I was running a discovery call with you right now. I've done the screen share. I've shown where you are. This is what we could do, blah, 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 blah. I've stopped the screen and I say, okay, Adriana, before I show you what kind of funding, not investment, what kind of funding would you need to kickstart growth again? On a scale of 1 to 10, how much sense did this make? On a scale of 1 to 10, is it sensible for us to move to the next step? You're going to go, yeah, I'll give you, normally people give 7 or 8, right? I don't ask, why is it not a 9 or 10? I say, why is it not a 3 or a 2? Reverse psychology. So
because you're not calling them out. Correct. To not feel, for them, like, to feel bad.
Yeah. So when they start explaining, usually what happens 7 out of 10 times, they're like, this was good, this was good, this was good. That was, yeah, sorry, why did I give you 7? No, it's fucking 9 out of 10. Oh, brilliant. So I'm assuming the 1 out of 10 missing is the pricing, is it? Or the packages? Yeah. Boom. That's when you deliver that.
And I'm so happy that you mentioned the pricing, because that is like the most uncomfortable topic. But like, we really need to talk about the pricing, either like they have money or like they don't. Both answers we need to even like to move our time and energy, even like for the discovery call, or just like a proposal for the next step. So how you are doing this with the pricing, especially for the agency owners. I'm doing with the SEO freelancers where like these pricing are like 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 the most. But with the agency owners, like these prices are definitely much more higher. So how you are coaching them to actually, like see the value because it's so good for them.
Yeah. So obviously we're talking kind of in a broken manner on the podcast, but if you think back what I was saying, the budget qualification really started from the appointment setting part. So that already is quite forefront for the lead that of course I'll have to spend money because the appointment setter has already done 50% of the job. But let's assume, because you can't all the time get people on the phone because people are busy. Let's assume the appointment setter had no contact with the lead, but he or she showed up on the discovery call. You've added all that value. And then when you start doing the deck presentation, you literally show the first two slides of what's our ethos, right? How we've been driving results. After that, the next three slides should be all about the client, tying back to the pain points you generated while you were talking. And then you literally zero in, which you feel, which is called a price anchoring method. So you show the most expensive one, 15 grand. Say, I don't think you're ready for that 15 grand because you don't need that, to be honest. So you're already disarming and building trust, but not trying to sell the most important, say. And then you pick the mid package, which you really want to sell. Say, this would be ideal for you, considering where you are. And within 45 to 60 days, you should start seeing results. If you want the best bang for your buck, maybe I'm giving away too much, but I'll say it. If you want the best bang for your buck, there's another slide. Rather than giving discounts, I hate discounts. You say we've got this 3+1 offer, which means you sign up for 3 months today, cash collected up front, and I'll give you this 1 month, that's exact service and deliverables for free, because you know how much it costs to get a link. You know exactly how much it costs to do content creation, how much technical fixes can you do. So you basically have an influx, boom, of 15, 16 grand up front. And then you then position it. All right, Adriana, which one will it be? Do you want to go for the $5,800 monthly rolling contract? Or you want to get the best value and do 3 months? Because even though I'm confident you'll get results from day 45 or from day 60, but Rome wasn't built in one day. Your website is literally DR6. So you clearly said, I'm looking to be with you guys long term. So why not invest for 3 months up front and you actually save money because you get an extra month for free? What do you think? Which one will it be? So it's like a presumptuous close already. Like I've already made up my mind for you. You're going to go with me. You just tell me which package is it.
Yeah, so, let them choose. But it's already, the answer is yes. And what you already did with saying with like no, the premium, for example, the highest retainer, you are saying no to them. In every sales that like I am seeing, like when you are saying like no to your client, maybe this is not good for you, maybe this is not fit for you. In psychology way, like they are getting trust, like, hey, the Stephen doesn't want to sell me the highest. And then I'm choosing like, is it this one? And then, but we already have the answer is yes. And then like we can also scale it.
And there are other wordings you could use, things like we generally, if you work with us for 6 months, 9 out of 10 of our clients usually end up on page 1 for multiple keywords. If it doesn't work out, we'll continue to work for free rather than giving the money back. It's a different way of saying things, right? There are other factors you could use, things like you can show a competitor within the same niche. Literally take slides. This is where they were 3 months ago, and this is where they are, right? That kind of stuff. I mean, you got to do your pre-call prep in it. If you're winging it blindly on a call, it's not going to work, because then you get stuck on objection handling.
Where do you see like these agency owners are more struggling with this like objection handling, like where they stuck and like where you are helping them the most?
Yeah. So usually what they do, the first or second objection comes in, they pull their pants down and they want to drop the price, which reduces the value and all of that, right? So there are, across every vertical, there are three or four very identical objections. First one could be, no, everything seems fine, but the other agency was offering me $2,000. Okay, then I go in, I normally say, uh, okay, let's put the money aside for now. If I offer this to you for free, would you sign up today? Yeah, I would sign up. And why would you do that? It's because you gave me this, 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 and this. Okay, so you think this is going to work for you, right? Did the same agency promise showed you exactly the same thing I showed you and the same deliverables? Yeah, maybe not exactly the same way. Right. So, do you want to go with a half baked product or something which you firmly believe in, considering you're struggling with leads? Right. You can do, I mean, you can surely sign up with the others, no problems. At least I've pointed you in the right direction. But remember, you've already suffered in the last 6 months. Again,
Mm.
by trying to penny pinch, you might fall back 18 months. And then to recover, you'll have to spend 4 times the money. Plus, I normally position it, listen, in this package, this account manager is not really an account manager. This is an SEO business strategist who's got 8+ years of experience, who is not on your wage cost on mine. Go ahead and try and hire an SEO business strategist in the US, 120, $130,000 annual salary. That is the price of gold, which I'm giving it to you for free. Actually, you should be paying me for that work, to be honest.
Yeah.
The ways of doing it.
And even like making these small jokes, I really saw like it's working, because especially like we are humans, like we don't want to get like the robot like on another side, and like even just like being human, being real, like asking legit questions, honest, giving the honest answers, and like small jokes are helping to build that kind of relationship that we want with the client. In the end of the day, even like we are not selling or like selling it, we want to build that relationship regarding the future references, like all these things. So how you are actually establishing that like good relationship with the person that is, and
Yeah.
like.
Yeah,
Mhm.
a sales closer needs to have an amazing sense of humor. So I don't know,
Mm.
Adriana, if you've heard me say that, but in the industry, I'm quite famous for one phrase: like, trust, win. If they like you, they'll trust you. If they trust you, you'll win the deal. And that happens with a combination of asking value-driven questions and having a consultative style of selling, but then cracking jokes in between. Especially
Mm.
in the beginning, I talk silly stuff in the beginning when I'm doing rapport building, just to give myself a human, like, okay, he's not just a sales guy, even though I'm
Mm.
behind that smoke mirror of SEO growth director or fucking SEO growth manager, whatever you want to call it, right? But just yeah, just you're trying to read their profile as well. I talk about my GNTs, how my weekend was this or that, or I've got 6 kids running around because there are 3 of them are dogs. Do you have a dog? Silly stuff. Just read the room. Come up with some humorous things. Like, I used to do a lot of cold calling. Stop doing it, but I still train a lot of people. One of the things I sometimes used to say, because with cold calling, the opener matters a lot. For them to give you your first 6 seconds will get you the next 60 seconds, and the next 60 seconds will get you the next 6 minutes. So the first 6 seconds was, Adriana, Stephen from Searcheroo. This is a sales call, but if I crack a joke and I make you laugh, would you let me pitch? Just
Yeah.
one. It's a pattern interrupt rather than the standard one.
And it's owning yourself, because like we even like sales, we know why we are here, like, and people are so smart, and like they have the intelligence like all over this. And like if we are owning ourselves, like why we are here, like that brings the honesty, and like, hey, I don't I'm getting the trust, like even we know that I want to sell in the end.
Yeah, but I think this word of sale and sell is just a bit overrated. I've recently started doing it when I'm doing a bit of objection handling and some really clever founders, like they've got fucking sales teams themselves. So they see through it, right? They're like, Steve, I know you're saying this because you just want to sell. So I normally say, well, aren't you here to buy them? Like, what did you expect? You want me to give away the services for free? Let me
Yeah.
ask you, you've got a SaaS product. Would you give away your product for free? So and I said, why are we so against the word sale?
Mm.
Because you need to sell and you need to buy in order for things to move. I'm sorry, I did not create this business model. This is how it is. You've got a
Yeah.
problem, I can potentially solve it, and it's going to cost you money. And unfortunately, it's labeled as selling. If there was another word, I'll use it. Does that
Yeah.
make sense? And then they're like, oh yeah, actually, or they start laughing. So I'm again pushing it back to them. Like, why do you think this way? So you're kind of being a psychologist at the same time, which is important. So sense
Yeah.
of humor and being emotionally intelligent is very important for a successful salesperson. Whether you're a sales manager, head of growth, sales director, closer, appointment setter, and tonality matters a lot. So every time you ask these questions, your voice tonality should go up, like the curious tone. Why is it this way though? Right? Or the challenging tone. And a lot of people don't master that. It's the same tonality across.
Mm.
That is also a problem because we're all emotional animals at the end of the day. So that tonality triggers something in our brain to make us a bit more like, I don't do it on purpose, but it just happens. When I'm joking, I've got a thinner voice rather than when I'm talking business, my voice becomes a bit more deeper.
Yeah, because that was these kinds of are like different identities that we are handling within in ourselves. And it's even like a different like face, like the tone and like these kinds of things. And yeah, definitely like sales have that like negative tendency like across like all the languages like cultures, and especially like without like I'm bringing like sales is something like wrong, you shouldn't do that. And the great thing that when the actually another side has the problem about selling, then like you can come in and like if they are problem with the word of selling, how they are going to sell their customers.
Correct.
So
Correct.
it's okay. So just like for the keeping this like sweet and short, do you think that like is there any other factors like that you usually seeing like in the market, and like we didn't have it here for the like agency owners like on these calls? And I know that like also you are helping with the sales team, sales scripts, anything that you are seeing on your side that would helpful for the agency owners to realize they have the problem and maybe talk to you about their business and the potential collaboration with you.
Uh, well, with me, of course, I got my website and I do offer services across several modules from lead gen to outbound sales or lead generation setup, helping conversion rates increase, average order value, LTV, account management setup. But one thing I do want to add, which is closely connected to the discovery call, right? Even though we've got the framework of a one call or a two call close, but sales is tough enough, right? So that's why 35% close rate, 40% is like bloody hell, it's amazing, you know. Um, However, 50% of the sales usually come from follow ups, and a lot of people are shit at it. Why? They're either too late, so out of sight is out of mind. That's one. B, when they're following up, it's the same bloody thing, circling back, getting on top of your inbox rather than just leading with value. Record Loom videos. Oh, I've just come across this new resource I found. Moz has just published this article. I think you should read that. And then a soft CT at the end. Did you finally make a decision? Here's my Calendly if you want to talk. That bit and this new thing I've just shared with you. So you're giving up free value offer.
Yeah.
Again, it doesn't work all the time, but if you're not positioning yourself this way and not consistently doing, I'll say something, normally you should have 6 follow ups within the next month and a half, value driven, to have any chances of someone converting again. But people just don't do that enough. They're like one line, yoo-hoo, anybody there, circling. They do it once, maybe twice, and they're like, oh, fuck it, he's wasting my time. Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
because it's also that is uncomfortable, like rejection is very uncomfortable for us and we want to avoid it by just like missing. But definitely warmer lead is better for us than just like cold and going. And all this is a learning phrase for us.
because because all the founders also have an ego, let's be honest, and I've told them, I said, mate, you don't like people calling you out or challenging you, which is why you need a sales team, is because they are used to getting fucking slaps from everyone, but they won't give up. because they have targets to achieve. You kind of want money, but you don't. No one's holding you accountable for that target, right?
Mm.
The moment someone challenges you, you get offended, and you don't do things they're supposed to be how they're supposed to be done. So for sales, you need a very different mindset, attitude, and a roll with the punches mentality.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have that, then sorry, mate, don't do sales then.
Yeah, and you are basically challenging them in thinking differently, because if they already know what they need to do, like to increase the sales and the scale, like they would already done that, like, so you becoming as a challenger of that thought, like you are leading them in direction they want to go.
Correct.
All right. So, Stephen, thank you so much for the call, for the value, for the things that you said here, like so much handling objections. Definitely, like for the agency owners who are watching this, definitely I can see them talking to you. And I know that, like, just writing on the LinkedIn a DM to you, you are very fast responder, like, so just I would definitely encourage them, because they can see like the value they can get for their agency and for their skill. So thank you so much for today, and I hope I will see you on the one of the conferences like this year.
Definitely looking forward to it. Thanks for having me. Cheers,
Thanks,
Adriana.
Stephen.
Bye bye.